Hey guys, Kyle, the Death Note of Anime here, and this is me bringing you a late night review of Eden Zero, Chapter 11. Yeah, I'm kind of bringing you this one a little late, guys, because I kind of ended up, believe it or not, just pretty much doing believe it or not, after doing the Black Clover review, I kind of ended up getting a little, a little tired, I guess. So I decided to put it, I decided to put the So I had to put the Eden Zero off for now, but I'm here giving it to you, and yeah, this is just my late night review of it. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, to start off, we get a nice color page of the color page in this chapter, basically telling us that the first volume of Eden Zero will be available to purchase on the 14th of this month, but whether or not that means worldwide or just in Japan, I'm not sure. But as far as like the I'm not sure, but as far as the color page itself, I do like how it was. I do like how it had this sort of Gundam Evangelion vibe, pretty much vibe to it. Just in the way that the Mashima designed, just designed the whole color page. And if like we basically rag on Mashima for pretty much a lot, but if there's anything I'll always praise Mashima for is just how colorful and basically is how colorful and pretty much creative he can get with basically all of his designs. Like I definitely know that the like pretty much taking of course taking his character designs out for a second, just the way he like designs like outfits or just worlds, like all that stuff, like all the minor stuff he designs is just amazing. Like as cut and paste as some of his characters might be in Eden Zero, I can say that his the other stuff he designs are great. Like the worlds, the freaking clothing, like everything is every miscellaneous bit about his stories is great. Now now cover page aside, because yeah, I've talked about how creative enough it was. I need to talk about the ending with our heroes getting caught in the tractor beam of Elcy Crimson's ship. And yeah, Elcy Crimson is pretty much back. And I'll say and right off the bat, I'll say one thing I liked about that, which is that the whole setup of them getting caught in that tractor beam, like all the angles that the Majima chose in order to design that pretty much page of them getting caught in the tractor beam. It reminded me so much of Star Wars when the Millennium Falcon got caught by the Death Star, but like it was just there's just a lot about that one single moment that pretty much reminded me, that kind of had my Star Wars fan. That had my Star Wars pretty much fan just kind of geeking out for a bit. Like I was reading this and I was like, this whole scene is something pretty much straight out of Star Wars. So who knows? Maybe I want to assume that I don't want to assume if this was intentional or not, but I guess we can assume that Mashima is kind of a fan of Star Wars too or something. I don't know. Like it's just that's the only conclusion I could draw from it, that the dude is secretly is a Star Wars fan. We didn't know that about him. So if he is, then yeah, that was definitely an interesting homage to Star Wars for sure. At least that one scene anyway. Now, having said that, as much as I admire and now that I've praised like the whole setup of it, I gotta get to the disconcerting part of it, which is that as much as I admire Mashima's willingness to throw our heroes into more peril immediately after escaping Norma and getting rid of Sabir and whatnot, I'm also wary and a little concerned with how he plans to approach things from here. Because if this turns into little more than an escape mission, like we're basically Shiki, Rebecca, and Weiss end up only fighting like Krusties and only Krusties and freaking fodder like guards and whatnot, then we're good. But that's strictly in that particular case if it's only just like a strictly rescue mission type setup. But if Mashima throws in if Mashima ends up throwing him in like a bit of a final battle between Elcy and Shiki, then that's pretty much for me where things are a little more up in the air because again, especially if the fight with Sabir is anything to go off of, like if like once pretty much Mashima has kind of, it seems like one thing I've noticed is that once Mashima pretty much has kind of a bit of his mind set on a particular formula of how he does the action, then normally he seems to try and stick to that. But I'm just speculating, and maybe I'm wrong. And if he does pit Elcy and Shiki against each other, maybe given the benefit of the doubt, he will end up doing a lot more with this fight than he did with the Shiki and Sabir fight. But again, it's a little, again, it's one of those things where it's basically a situation that's up in the air until pretty much something actually happens. So I guess for now all we can do is wait and see. I'm not sure. Hopefully Mashima does. Hopefully Mashima really doesn't end up screwing this up like he pretty much did with the whole Sabir, with like he did kind of with the whole Sabir fight. But yeah, I guess all we can do is just wait and see for now, and just hope something good will come from it. But like I said, I am curious to see how the rest of this is going to go. Of course, it's just that one. It's just that they do it's just the Elcy and Shiki fight. I'm worried about if he's gonna do one. And yeah, the setup I talked about last week pretty much played out in this chapter with the younger Weiss actually helping them out. Although I'd be lying if I said I wasn't at least a little taken off guard by the reveal that he has he has an ether gear that basically allows him to. It was basically he can basically do. He can, well, unlike Shiki, where Shiki can kind of bend gravity or whatnot. With Weiss, he has an ether gear that can. I think he can basically he can do a lot of remodeling with machines, and that which. I'm not gonna lie. There's very few stuff in Mashima's works that can take me off guard, but I'm not gonna lie. This whole ether gear reveal, it was a nice surprise, and it's one of those things where the reveal pretty much does make a lot of sense when you look at Rebecca's backstory, but at the same time, I know I kind of already criticized. I'm worried a little bit about the future and how many other people Mashima plans to give ether gear to, because if he overdoes the whole ether gear thing, then the concept is going to lose its rarity to this world. So, I mean, I will admit that definitely the one decent thing he did about, because the one decent thing I will admit he did decently about Fairy Tail, as much as we all hate on it, is that he definitely kept the whole thing of he definitely kind of kept the whole thing of Dragon Slayers in still an extremely tight knit group kind of thing, even if there were a lot of people that ended up showing up with that kind of power. So yeah, I'm just kind of curious as to how many other people that Mashima's going to give ether gear to in Eden Zero. I hope not too many. I hope he keeps it to at least like a manageable level, like at least 5 or 6 at most. Like I think 5 or 6 would at least kind of keep it within that manageable level of keeping it a bit of a rarity. I think is what I would do. But yeah. We also get officially introduced to the older Weiss, and on top of the fact that I actually loved how we get to see that he has that in the present he hasn't really changed all that much with age. We also get like a shitload of exposition dumped on us that Planet Norma is until further notice pretty much stuck in an infinite loop of the past, thanks to this time monster, which I like that whole setup because it does show that the characters couldn't solve everything, as well as giving a full context kind of what Mashima meant when he talked about time not meaning jack shit in this world. Although with this whole reveal, with this whole reveal, and going off what he said in that previous chapter, I'm curious to see what kind of a role to the overall story this time monster is going to play if he's the one who's basically going to be behind these problems that time isn't going to mean jack shit in this world. And I'm not gonna lie, if time isn't gonna mean much, then I'm also kind of I really it's I definitely had one of my wishes of seeing I guess I kind of had my wish of seeing older and younger Weiss meet each other, but I guess it didn't happen the way I thought it would. But I guess it does make sense I guess it would still kind of make sense for this younger Weiss to kind of come into his own as a professor too. So that it should be interesting to see as to how older and younger Weiss are gonna interact in the future. But yeah, guys, that's all I got for this review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, AnyList, Crunchyroll, or Facebook. Death Knight of Anime, signing off. Later, guys.